I have a story for you, a story of how I learned something about this whole thing about the mind creates reality. I was at a party, knew a lot of the people, lovely people, and yet I looked around and I went, we've all decided there's no one here for us. We've all ruled each other out. Isn't that sad? So many people here would love a partner because I knew they would, and we're just not being there for each other. I started feeling lonelier and lonelier. No one was talking to me. It didn't seem like anybody wanted to dance to me. I'd try to get in on a conversation. They'd be too engaged. And I just felt like going in a corner, curling up, or going home. And my mind was saying, there's nothing here for you. And then I looked at my mind and I went, I don't like what I'm thinking. So what do I want to think? I am well received, well loved, well appreciated, well romanced, and leave here very happy. All of a sudden, the room shifted. Even the light seemed to change. And people were dancing with me. I had wonderful conversations. I stayed late into the evening, enjoying one group of people after another. And I went home very, very happy and feeling received. Just changed my thoughts. So when we're working on our goals and our visions, the thought often comes, I'm told to align with this. Now, what does that mean? How do I align with something that I don't even know yet or have yet? And you align with it by coming into now. So all the power is in the present moment. You bring all your consciousness right into now, and you school your mind when it's thinking about these goals to think of it as if it's already happening. The mind wants to figure out how to make these new realities occur, but it really is limited because it tends to take the past and apply it to the future and decide what is possible and what isn't. And the ego even more so. The ego's job, which it often does wondrously well, is to help with the interface with the world, help you know how to adapt to the world, how to be in sync with the outer world. But when it comes to manifesting or femifesting, they're not the seat of consciousness from which to operate. So I like to say, ask your wonderful mind, here's a pillow over here, and your ego, here's a pillow over here. Come sit here, take notes, we'll talk later. And then you come into your heart. When you come into your core, the core becomes magnetic. So you might take a moment, ground or release your grounding, create new grounding. Let your light spiral down your core, follow it in, and arrive in your body, because that's where all the power is. The soul is creating this human experience, but to have it and evolve it, you need to be in it, in the body. The more you come into your core, the more it becomes magnetic. And the heart is the place of consciousness from which you can call into this new reality, call yourself into it, and call it into you. In heart math, they've discovered scientifically that the heart has 5,000 times stronger magnetic field, bigger electromagnetic capacity than the mind. So if you're going to magnetize realities to yourself, then you want to really be in the heart. I love to have people create a sanctuary in the heart, like a beautiful room in the heart. Set an altar. You can put symbols or images on the altar of what it is that you would like to receive, and then call that to yourself as you sit at that altar. But you want to be thoughtful in how you do the calling. So if you go, I want to create a life, or I wish to, you've just left it out in the future. It isn't now. If you say, I will, it still puts it out in the future. So you want to bring that right into now. So the way you bring it into now is you speak of it as I'm now living a life that is fulfilling and enriched by wonderful friends. I've called in myself the most amazing people. And I'm grateful that my tribe is gathering. So at the moment you're saying it, your mind might say, I don't know how to do that. Well, it's been said the how is God's job. So this is a partnership. This is a collaboration that evolves if you're really going to fully align with your goals and your dreams. Mind in service of the heart. So it's a wonderful tool. And the heart is directing the show because it has access to your divinity more strongly. Divinity is everywhere. There's no outside the divine. And it tends to be felt the strongest when you're at that altar in your heart. Sometimes you can even see the light of your soul essence. So now the collaboration includes spirit, body, mind, heart, and soul. So you're imagining this, you're calling it, you're speaking of it as already done. And then you're asking for support from the divine to bring about the circumstances and opportunities that allow it to occur. I like to say, you put your order in with the universe. You let your guides and angels know how they can help you. And what I find really fascinating over, what is it now, 40 some years of working with guides and 36 of channeling the council, is they love specific directions. If you say, help me create the life that I want the most, it's kind of like, okay, we'll send light, we'll do what we can. If you spell that out, kind of like you might give to a staff member, or you might put an order in on the internet, you spell out, help me discover the steps that I need to take to be able to create my online presence and to learn how to use social media. You can actually call on the Council of 12 to bring in the guides who understand social media to sit with you and help you figure out how to do that. The guidance that I've been working with all this time, I've discovered more and more is very practical. We're creating this in the middle of January with Capricorn, Sun. We have this conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, which has made a very rough ride up to this moment. And now they're coming conjunct the Sunday, January 12th. When they're conjunct, they're lightened up by the fact that Jupiter has just come in. So whether you understand astrology or not, what it translates to is there's a lot of support from the heavens to actually implement our dreams, to make our visions real, and to have a good time doing it. It's like we've come through a portal as a planet to where all kinds of new realities are possible. And it's possible to create a paradigm shift. Body, mind, heart, soul, let's align everything. So you want to be fully aligned with these new paradigms, this way of living in fulfillment, in an actualization of those things that let you do the life you want, to live the passion, to do the work of your dreams. What you want to do now is also bring the body into alignment. So how does that kind of person eat? How do they take care of themselves? Because you see, when you add that self-care to where the body is honed, it's had good sleep, it's got good food, it's had enough food but not overfull, digestion is working because you've learned exactly what your body wishes to have, you're in collaboration with your body, then all of your life lines up with this new reality, including exercise, including pleasure, including erotic life. When you have all this operating, it creates a base from which to begin the working out of these goals. Spirit wants you to have what you want, not because it has an agenda for you, not because it has to be, but because in you aligning yourself with what you want, in you calling it to yourself, that's the greatest evolution of your soul. And that's really what the beings on the other side are aligned with. I want to say also the difference between, hold on a second. I want to say the difference between I want such and such to come in and I have. What I notice sometimes is people will do all their visioning and their calling and their rituals, and then they let themselves drop into yearning, especially for that special partner. Oh, where is he? Where is she? I don't understand why other people get to have them and I don't. And they see lovers and they pine. That's working against your goals. You want to shift your consciousness, just like I did at the party, to, all right, they're showing love, I'm having love. Come on in, beloved. Come on, I know you're on your way. Let's go ahead and meet. I'm ready to meet now. I'm ready to actually have what we can have. Because in the end, the way you get the life you want is by dropping into the beingness of that life, letting yourself actually be who you'll be living that life. Go ahead and do it now. So, to come into alignment with your goals, you bring your thoughts into alignment. Whenever your mind goes anywhere else that's negative, you bring it back. You school it, especially around these goals, to speak of them in the way of having. You bring your heart in. You bring it into alignment, but really you come into your heart where you'll be most aligned. You access the sanctuary in your heart. You sit at your altar. You call for what you want. The grounding meditation on my website, evelinarose.com, actually ends with that altar in your heart. 5.5 minutes and you're sitting at the altar. So if you need support in doing it, there's your support. You bring your body into alignment with the havingness of these realities, and you call in spirit. You access all your spiritual resources. If you get stuck, you say, okay, soul, you want me to do this? Now show me how, and fund it. And you can just talk that way to your soul. You can talk that way to your guides. I need some more support here. I want you to bring the finances that make these next steps possible because I'm eradicating struggle. You support me in the havingness. I'm not sure I know how to have it, so you teach me how to have it, and you teach me how to have it now. Thank you very much. And Spirit goes, oh, good. We can get down with that. Let's get busy. So allowing this collaboration of all parts of you, with the heart at the core of it, and with all parts of the cosmos. May you have an extraordinary 2020. Blessed be.